trip review, stoplight style. Hey, we're going to give you a green for good, a yellow for caution, and a red light. Stop and take notice. Today is Windstar's flagship, the Windsurf. Hi everyone, this is Bob with Bucket List Cruise and Travel, a company and channel dedicated to bringing you the best in bucket-worthy cruise and travel experiences. Today we have a trip review for you, stoplight style. Our cruise on the Windstar Windsurf was about a month ago. Yes, we had anticipated doing more about this ship and our sailing and our experiences, but we did this cruise during the Christmas week, and well, it had an outbreak of this new variant on the ship during our second week of our back-to-back voyage. So we had one typical week on the ship followed by a week that was not so typical. Because of this cruise ended early, now if you want to go back and watch our story, the video of that is here. So with all that being said, we did not get all the video footage that we wanted or thought we would be able to get because of the situation on board the ship. And really, many of the ship for a while had some issues. But we wanted to give you all an update on our experiences on board the Windsurf so you can decide if this really unique ship is for you. I think you could say that we are partial to smaller ships, but this was the smallest cruise ship that we had ever been on. The Windsurf only holds about 350 guests at max capacity. While it is small compared to cruise ship standards, it is very large for a sailing ship. In fact, it's the world's largest sailing ship. So here is our trip review, and we really hope that this will help you if you're thinking about taking a Windstar, a Windsurf voyage in particular. First, our green lights. We loved the size of the ship. The size of the ship at only 350 passengers makes the ship feel more like a yacht than a cruise ship. You will enjoy the benefit of having many of the things that you love about cruising on a big ship, but everything is just more petite. So for guests, the small size of the ship means that you're able to call on smaller, more off the beaten path ports of call. It also means things on the ship are closer together. While there's still two elevators on the ship, one forward and one aft, but the aft just wasn't that far aft and the forward just wasn't that far forward, so that could be a benefit for some. The other nice thing that is really nice and noticeable about cruising on a small ship like the Windsurf is that the crew will know you. They will know your name, they will know your drink preferences, and we really appreciate that. The other nice thing is getting to know the other passengers. Some of it has to do with the small nature of the ship. Now, one of the coolest things about the small ship was the open bridge policy. Yes, you heard that right. The Windsurf and all the Windstar fleet have an open bridge policy. We found this to be amazing. So how this works is you can just be walking, which is another green light for us is on this small ship, that there's a full promenade deck. So even though there is a gym, Natalie and I prefer taking our laps out on the fresh air when we can. So as you're walking on the promenade, you can just pop into the bridge and chat with the officers on the watch. I mean, we could see an island in the distance and pop in and just ask what we're seeing. What speed were we sailing at? And anything else we wanted to talk about the vessel or our voyage. And that is day or night. And that's a great feature in my book. Another amazing feature of the Windsurf is that I like the marina deck. The marina deck gets a full green light from us because it's so unique. This is a deck that is lowered when we are at anchor in some of the ports of call, and out come the toys. They have a lot of toy options, including kayaks, floating lounge mats, an inflatable trampoline, zodiac boats, and more. You cannot snorkel off the back of the ship, and that makes sense because you'd be way too far out from shore to snorkel anyway, but this will be a fun and relaxing day to spend some time when you're enjoying the ship. But you can go wakeboarding, sailing, or just hang out on the water trampoline. It's all great stuff at the marina. The food, another green light. Now, I think that most cruise ships offer great food options, but what makes the food on Windstar different is several things. First, they offer many healthy items like salad bars at every lunch, and they use healthy cooking oils while on board. In addition, something that is a bit hard to find on bigger ships is outdoor dining. When visiting such scenic ports of call as the Windsurf does, you really want to be able to enjoy the view the warm breezes, and the windsurf provides that with an outdoor dining venue, and that's for breakfast and lunch, and even with a specialty restaurant for dinner called Candles, which is, by the way, included in your fare. So today we start our new cruise. We are on an 11-night Christmas cruise on board the Windsurf. This is Windstar's flagship. So far we've had a nice day ashore, and then we went to the hot tub, and then we hung around and watched the other Windstar ship do sail away, and now we're at Candles. This is the gourmet steak restaurant, the beef restaurant, and we're going to watch sail away from the restaurant. This is our open air venue. Stick around. It's going to be a great trip. But there's also a yellow light with this, so stay tuned for the next section for all of our yellow cautions about this ship. Now, speaking of food on the Windsurf, another green light is the room service. The menu is extensive and it's all included. You can even order breakfast items in the morning. Most bigger ships either charge for that or they do not include a full breakfast in the morning with room service. We just hate being on a schedule when we're on vacation, but we really like a little vacation pampering. So having coffee delivered after you wake up and even breakfast served, now that's a very nice treat, one that we enjoyed. Now, even better than that, room service menu included popcorn. I know that sounds strange, but it's really special enough for us to go with the green light on that one. I mean, watching a movie in your stateroom at night with a bowl of popcorn delivered by room service, that's cruise ship living. If you are loving our stoplight review and like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to our channel. We have many stoplight reviews scheduled soon, including a Royal Caribbean. We're going to be on the Symphony of the Seas, a Princess ship. We're going to be on the Sky Princess soon, and in only a few weeks, the inaugural voyage of the world's largest cruise ship. We're going to be on the inaugural sailing of the Wonder of the Seas. Oh, and for train lovers, an Amtrak review is also coming right up. Now on to our experience that you will want to add to your bucket list, only found on one of Windstar's sailing ships, and that's the sail raising ceremony. That is something to see, and not just see, but experience. It's a big deal, as after leaving port, the ship turns into the wind, the music plays the 1492 overture, and the largest sailing ship in the world raises her sails.
Perfect night. So good. Everyone's out to see the sail away. This is a real sail away, guys. So fun.
As you say goodbye to a wonderful day in port, it's really quite impressive to see and quite memorable as well. And if this isn't enough, we have another green light for you, but you'll have to stay tuned to the end to find out what that was. It was our favorite thing about the ship, after all. Now for the yellow light items on the Windsurf. First, even though we appreciate the smaller ports of call that smaller ships can call on, it does mean that many ports are only reachable by tender boat. Check your itinerary. Obviously, it will vary by itinerary, but you will have some issues getting into the tenders if you have mobility issues. Some viewers have asked, and yes, we must include the movement of the ship as a yellow light. The Windsurf rides very well, but it is a beamy sailboat that glides smoothly through the water, and it does have more side-to-side motion than a large cruise ship. So if you are sensitive to motion, you may want to consider that, or come prepared with some medication before sailing on the Windsurf. As for the entertainment, this was a yellow for us also. It's not that they didn't have entertainment, but they did not have much to offer as far as entertainment after dinner. There are no production shows, and they had very limited live music at one or two of the lounges. We don't need a whole lot of entertainment when we're on a ship. We do enjoy listening to music and talking to other passengers, and this ship is excellent for that. But if you're a person who looks forward to production shows and an evening full of entertainment options, you'll be missing them on this ship. Some yellow for dining, as I referenced above. We enjoyed the food quality. the food selection, the service, and we love the outdoor dining space and the fact that the specialty dining at both of the onboard specialty restaurants was included in our cruise fare. The only problem was that you needed a reservation for any specialty dining, and those reservations are hard to come by. We did manage to get into both of the specialty restaurants, but a pro tip here, you need to book as soon as you arrive on the ship. So arrive on board as early as you're able and make your reservations as soon as you can to enjoy those restaurants for yourself. Another yellow for dining is the hours. It does make sense on a small ship to limit the hours of operation. After all, you are giving up some things to get others. But we are kind of used to having options for a late lunch. Usually we like to go ashore, tour, explore, and then around mid-afternoon we head back to the ship for a bite of food. But on this ship, and it happened a few times, got back to the ship at 2 o'clock or so to find no food available. There was no salad bar, no burger shack, or anything except for room service. So there really wasn't a quick option for a late lunch before going back ashore. So just be aware of this so that you can plan your time ashore accordingly. Now, for the red lights. The first item that is a red light, and there are no balconies on the windsurf, none at all. For us, this is definitely a red light. We do enjoy our own balcony space, and this ship does not offer any of the balconies at any level, including the suites. Now, we still enjoyed our voyage, and the ship does offer a great deal of outdoor deck space and lounge chairs, so finding a space was not a problem. But you will need to find a spot and put your towels down and get a deck chair in a location that you liked. But if you want a private balcony, this ship unfortunately is not for you. The second red light is that the ship's internet. It was bad. It didn't matter if you paid extra for the internet or not. It was sporadic and slow, which is a really bad combination. There was lots of frustration with even getting a signal on. So with the internet, so if you need access to the outside world, this ship unfortunately again is not for you. The other red light, which is more of a just be aware, is that if your cabin is on either decks 2 or 3, you will have a difficult time accessing your cabin when the ship is leaving or entering a port. The ship closes its watertight doors when it's close to land, which I'm told all ships do, but this operation is usually well below the passenger decks. At first this was a bit concerning for us. It felt a little bit claustrophobic, and it was difficult for us to find our way to our room, and that was during this operation only. So for the unprepared or the unknowing, like us, it was a little bit concerning the first time we saw this action. So just wanted to warn you about the watertight doors. Now, what was our number one green light? It has to be the included beach lunch that is hosted by Windstar. Everything is included. The barbecue lunch, the beautiful private beach experience, we had a local band, there were beach chairs, umbrellas, and the toys. So many toys, including a private driver and a wakeboard ride around the windsurf. Hey, put that on your bucket list. I checked that one off my bucket list. Let me know in the notes below what was your favorite green, yellow, and red lights on the Windstar. Help others by commenting below.